For the last week, all I've been hearing is people saying, where is episode 2 of this series? We need an episode 2. So today, your wish is my command. Welcome back to episode 2 of growing a TikTok page from scratch. And as promised in my last video, in this video today, you're going to get the full step-by-step tutorial on how to create videos like I am on my page for totally free and all from your phone. So, literally a day after I posted the last video, I got accepted into the creativity program. And since being in the creativity program, I haven't had anything go mega viral, but I have made £6, which I believe is about $7.33 or something. So nothing too crazy, but still a decent start. Our RPM on the page, which is the amount we get paid per 1,000 qualified views, is also pretty good. Considering the RPM on my other page, Millionaire Aesthetic, this one is way better, and it ranges sort of between 62 pence and all the way up to 85 pence. So if we get videos go viral on this account, we will be smashing that $500 mark straight away just from one video. Now, before you guys start looking at my account in between episodes to try and figure out how much I'm making and things like that, I just want to quickly clarify that every 1,000 views I get on my page isn't always 1,000 views in terms of making me money. So on the TikTok creativity program, there is a thing called qualified views, and qualified views is where someone stays on the video for 5 seconds or more. So if somebody goes on my video and doesn't watch it for 5 seconds and swipes off, that is not a qualified view. However, that view shows up on my page. So while you may be thinking I might have hit the $500 mark or something, I might not have, because the qualified views are actually the ones I get paid for. So I just thought I'd clear that up to one, make sure you guys know what to expect when you get in the program, and two, just so you guys don't go making assumptions about me or anybody else in these programs and how much they're making, because you never actually know due to the qualified views. Another thing you may have noticed if you were following my page or looking at my page is I broke my promise of posting every single day. However, that wasn't by accident and it was intentional. I didn't not post because I didn't have content ready. I'll show you a screenshot. I've got 4 drafts ready to go to post on my page, but I actually left a gap on purpose. The reason for this is because on my Millionaire Aesthetic account, I actually had a few days where I couldn't really post because I was quite busy. So I had 2 days, I think, where I couldn't post, and then the first video I posted when I came back somehow got 600,000 views. So when I then started to think about it, I was looking at a lot of the pages in my niche for this account, the Motivation Motive, and I realized that a lot of the big pages are posting every couple of days, and every single video that they post is getting hundreds of thousands of views. So I thought on this page I'll test the theory and see if it is better to post every other day or every few days, and the video I posted and left it a few days actually got some decent views. It's the one that starts off with Conor McGregor in the car. So this video actually got some decent views, and I don't know if that is because I gave it time to sort of marinate and I didn't post something the day after, or if it's just a coincidence. I actually reached out to a big page in my niche and asked them if they deliberately post every other day or every few days as it helps them with their views, and they actually came back to me and said they don't. It was because they started back up at school and they didn't have as much time. They then suggested that I post every day. So I'm going to take that on board, but at the same time I do want to test my own theory a bit and see if it works. So make sure you subscribe and turn on post notifications so you can see the full results of these tests in the next episode of this series. So lucky for you guys, I'm the test dummy. I'm going to test out loads of different things to see what works best so I can report back to you and help you guys go viral. Another thing I really quickly want to mention, a lot of people are asking me in the comments of the last video, how long did I spend warming up the account and questions like this. I actually didn't intentionally warm up the account. TikTok, for some reason, when I made the account, they didn't let me do anything on it for a couple of days. Like, I was trying to follow people so I could curate my feed. They weren't letting me follow people. Like, I'd follow them, I'd go off the account, I'd go back on, and it would say I wasn't following them. It didn't let people follow me, because to test it out, I tried to follow myself on different accounts to see if people actually could follow me, which it didn't, so there was no point in me posting videos. So I actually left it for I think about 3 days before that fixed itself, and then I spent about another 2-3 days curating my feed, and I guess you could say warming up the account, but I was more so just trying to curate my feed. So you can kind of do the warming up and the curating of your feed in a 2-in-1, but if you want to say the whole period, I guess was about 3 days. 3 days where TikTok didn't let me do anything, 2 to 3 days where I was actually warming up the account, curating the feed and things like that. With all that being said, here is the part most of you probably came for, which is a step-by-step tutorial on how to create these kind of videos. Okay, right, so the first step, what we are going to do is we are going to go into our liked videos and look through all the videos we have liked to try and find some clips that we want to use to make our own sort of original video. So like I said in the last video, make sure that you create your feed so that way you can do this process easily. But I'm just going to go into TikTok, and as you can see, I'm already in the like section on this page, and there is tons of videos that I liked, and I can go and find these different sort of clips and put them into one. So I really like this one where it is actually, I believe, Luke Belmar and Jordan Welsh talking about God and stuff. So I thought I might make sort of a video that is a bit related to God and that kind of thing, as that could do quite well due to a lot of people believing in God. And also I just think the message that they're spreading in these videos is a good message to spread. So then the next step that I will do is I will go into YouTube and I will go and find these videos. There's some different ways you can go about this. You can either go about this by going in the comments, and there's probably people already asking who these guys are, and you can find them. If you already know them, like if you're in the space, you probably already know them, which is going to make this process easier. You can sort of know the different names of people, and you can try and find the exact videos. But this process can take a little bit of time, especially when starting out, to find the right podcast episode, the right person, making sure you've got all of that going. But once you get the hang of it, it's pretty easy. So I've actually already gone and done this, as I don't want to waste any time. So I've gone and got the videos ready that I'm going to use. But literally how I found the videos was I simply went to YouTube, went on Jordan Welsh's channel. I've actually already watched this video, so I knew the exact video. I went and found it, but all you have to do for this one is search up Jordan Welsh and Luke Belmar, and it will be the first one to pop up. I then went and got another video that I've already used actually in the first video I posted on this page. I'm then going to merge those two clips together to make this video. Okay, right, a tip for you to find the right parts of the video nice and easily, especially when it's like a long video or a long podcast. Find the exact clips that you want, that you have seen proven and work for other people and go viral for other people. It will take a lot of time for you to sit there. So a quick tip for this is to use a website called YouTube Transcript. How YouTube Transcript worked is you essentially just copy the link of the video, put it in their website, and then by pressing Command F on Mac, you can search the exact terms you want. So I'll put a quick pop-up on screen of how it works. But you essentially just type in some of the words that they are saying in the clip that you want. And then this way is going to make it a lot easier for you to go and find that clip. You can find the exact timestamp, and then what I will do is I'll go over to my phone, forward it to that timestamp, and screen record it to then put it into Capcut. Okay, right, so the next step is then once you've downloaded these videos is to go and add them into Capcut. I've already done this, so they're in a Capcut together, the two clips I'm going to use. As you can see, this video should work out to be over a minute long. If it isn't, I'll add in a bit of something at the end, or I'll find another clip. But as you can see, I've added them into Capcut. So once they are now in Capcut, I'm gonna have to crop them to be the right size. Otherwise, I'm gonna have wrong bits in there, as obviously I don't screen record it perfectly. And what I also need to go and do straight away is make the format 9:16. So it'll be like how those people see it in TikTok. And I'll then go and resize this to a sort of size I want. So I'm just gonna check, this size looks about good for this video. When do I go to this video? What kind of size do I want? I try and make them similar so it doesn't look too off. So this one needs to be a bit smaller. About there. They're about even. Right, so I'm just gonna quickly cut out the bits of these clips that I want, and then I'll be back with the end result. Okay, right, so I've just chopped them up, and it's literally just over a minute. I might add in like a bit of a fade out into a black screen just to make sure that the video is 100% over a minute when I post it, and that way I can actually make money from it. Okay, right, one other little bit of sort of source for you guys, and something that probably most people don't know. When you get videos that have music in the background, like especially YouTube videos like this one, the podcast probably won't really have music in the background, but this video actually has music in the background. I don't really want that. So a little trick I do, I don't know if other pages do this, but a little trick I do is I'll actually use an AI software called Vocal Remover or something like that. I'll link it in the description to just literally go and remove the vocals and the music. And it will sound like a tiny bit robotic, but when you add your own music on top of it, you literally can't tell. And that way you don't have two bits of music clashing with each other. So I'm gonna do this for this video. You guys can go and do it for your videos. Right, okay, so I'm now gonna quickly in real time go over to this AI, to this vocal remover, so I can remove the vocals from that video, and then I'll just mute the clip and I will add in the audio that I'm going to download from here. So if I quickly go and add this video in, as you can see it's loading. Okay, right, so as you can see it is now loaded, so you can see you can play around. So you can try and mute out the vocals and just have the music, or you can mute out the music and just have the vocals. Considering the music is pretty low on this one, I actually think it will give me a pretty good result. But if I just go and go like this, I can't actually hear it, but when I download it, if I go and save it, save the vocal, download it, it should give me a pretty good result. So I'm just going to go over here and press on this and put open in Capcut so I can put it over the video. Right, so now we're just going to drag this to the start to make sure that they are in line with each other. Okay, so what I should have actually done is I should have added in the audio that is extracted from the AI platform before I went and chopped up this clip, as it would have saved time, so I didn't have to completely match them together. But I've gone and matched them together, so now they are identical. So as you can see, they're identical, as you can probably hear. If I now go and mute this clip, to 0. Now we've got our audio without any music in the background. So when we go and put on our own music, it's going to sound nice and clean with no music clashing. Right, okay then, so now that is pretty much sort of the video part done. All I am then going to do is add on a filter. I add on black and white free. This is just for me to sort of brand the page. So when people see it, they sort of relate it to your brand if all your videos are black and white. However, this is not essential in the step at all. Loads of big pages don't do this. But if you want to do it, you can do it. But you don't have to. It's just I find a way to sort of try and separate myself, but hey, if everyone that watches this video does it, I guess it's not going to be separating any of us. But I'm just going to drag that across the whole clip, and then as you can see, it's all a bit black and white. You can still see some colour, which I think is pretty good. Okay, right, so I'm about to go and add in some auto captions now. That is the next step. All you have to do is add in auto captions, but to make sure for this step, if you do what I've done with the AI voice, you actually have to unmute this video first, because otherwise it's not going to get picked up for the auto captions. So you just go over to text, auto captions, and then Capcut is going to go and do this for you automatically. They do a pretty good job, but I still go and edit them to make sure that everything is not on 2 lines, it's all on 1 line and stuff, and it looks nice and clean and flows nicely. So as you can see, it is now all together, so I can now go ahead and mute this again so we don't have the music in the background.
Somebody out there.
And what I am now going to do is I'm just going to go through and batch edit these captions. So I just go batch edit, and then this way it's a nice and quick way to separate them. So I'll let you guys watch for a couple. To somebody at there, I guess I'll cut it there. Lowest moment right now, I think that will work. So if I just go back and watch it. Yeah, so that all looks pretty good. So I'm just going to go and do that throughout the whole thing to make sure that everything flows nicely and there is not ever 2 lines of text on the video. Right, okay, perfect. I've gone and chopped all of these up. However, you can now see there's like gaps in them. In my videos, I don't really like the gaps. I like to have it all connected. If it's not being anything said, like you can fade it out and stuff, but that's just how I like to do it. You can do it how you want. So I'm quickly gonna go and do this, but first of all, we're gonna resize it. So you wanna put it in the middle of the screen. This way it's sort of in people's eye line and it captures their attention, but you're gonna make it nice and small. So that way people can still read it, but they have to pay attention to read it for 1, which is gonna keep them watching the video. And for 2, it's not gonna get in the way of the people speaking and stuff like that. Okay, right, so as you can now see on the video, there is essentially no gaps. I left a gap here on purpose because he's pointing up, so he's insinuating something. So, you know, as he's doing something in the video, I thought there's no point in actually putting some text there. So I left the gap on purpose, but as you can see, there's pretty much no gaps. Obviously here, nothing's being said. It's the start of the clip, so there's a gap, and then, yeah, nothing being said once again. So that is how I structure my videos. One thing I want to say that I don't think I mentioned before, when choosing your clips, I find it is really good if you can sort of link them together. So in both of these clips, they're talking about God, which is why I think this video could do quite well. So something to think about when you're picking your clips, can you relate them together? Is whether one's like an emotional clip about, I don't know, being lonely or something, maybe try and have another one that can stay on that theme. Maybe you're doing a hard motivation one about like Goggins, maybe use Joe Rogan and Goggins, or maybe Goggins and Andy Frisella, as they're both like sort of hard motivators. Just try and link them together. Right, okay, one more thing I noticed, on some videos, the text can be hard to read if you don't put like a shadow or a border on it. So as this one is like a snowy background and stuff, it's quite hard to read it. So I'm gonna go in and actually put some shadow on my captions to see if that helps out. So I put a black shadow on them, and that seems to have helped a little bit, makes it a bit more readable. So yeah, for this one, I'll just use a shadow. I think that'll be fine. Now, just for time's sake, I'm not going to go in and fade some of this text in and out, but you guys can go and do that. When there's a section where they're not speaking or something, or there's a pause in between, what I like to do, if I can go and find a section now, is just go and fade it out. So here, relationship. So here, like this would be a perfect one. As in, he takes a break. So I'll then go in and just go animation. Make sure you click you turn off apply to auto captions, because then it will apply to all of them. Go to animation out, and I will just go and go fade out, and then drag it to about the length, so that way, look, it will look nice and cool. Relationship with God, and then it fades out slowly into the next one. Right, okay, so now that is all done, the next step is to go and add music. This is a really important part. You want to get some music that fits the vibe of the video, provokes emotion, is trending. The bigger pages use, this music is really important in actually bringing the video all together. So do not overlook this step at all. Now, with that being said, where do I find my music? Like I said at the start, I find my music from other bigger pages like mine, and I find it on TikTok most of the time. So what I'll do is I'll find it on TikTok, I will then go on the video and once again look in the comments to try and find the sound, or sometimes even the sound is being used and you can just go and take a look at it. So if I go over to TikTok and maybe look at this video even, okay, they're using their own sound, so I wouldn't be able to tell. I might be able to go and look in the comments. But for example, this video here, as you can see, they've added the sound here. So I can go and find the sound, need to. I can then, what I would do is I'll either download it from TikTok. If the video is about a minute long, I can probably do that. Or if my video is like a minute and 30 seconds, I'll want to go and put this into YouTube so I can get the full version. I will then download it using something called YTmate. I'll link all these websites and stuff in the description. So I'll download it using that, and I will then go and apply it to the video. I've already got a sort of big chunk of sounds that are quite good, and I'm always adding to it. So I'm just gonna go to my files and actually go and get one of the sounds from there. So before I've recorded this video, I already picked out a sound that I thought would suit this video quite well, and that is Playboy Carti, spaceships, slowed down instrumental, or whatever it is. Okay, so what I'm then gonna do is get this sound into Capcut, as I'm gonna press share, and I'm gonna go over to Capcut, import audio to Capcut, and now as you can see, we've got the music in the background, and now it's just about dragging it to the start and then making sure the volume is all right. Now, if we hit 700 likes on this video before I post the next episode in this series, I will give you guys access to this folder of sounds that I have for totally free. Okay, right, so I've gone now, added the sound into the TikTok video. I can't show you guys it with the sound because this video will get copyrighted, I believe anyway. So what you can do instead is you can go over to my TikTok and find this video if you want to hear the sort of sound that I've chosen. It's quite like a sort of emotional sound. I think it flows quite well with the video. You guys can let me know in the comments if you think it does. I'll leave a link to this video in the description so you can watch it after this one if you want to sort of see how the video turned out. But then the next sort of final step that you have to do is you've got to make sure that the video and the people speaking like isn't too loud. Obviously you don't want the music to be louder than the people speaking. What I would suggest is having your video on the louder side of videos. So you don't want your video to be quiet, and I typically like mine to be a bit louder than the average video. This way when people are scrolling, it can help to catch them off guard a little bit and keep them watching the video. But with that being said, you don't want to do anything crazy and hurt people's ears, because then they'll probably scroll straight past your video and your video won't do very well. But just a little bonus tip to help you guys with your growth: have it a little bit louder, so then that way you catch people off guard and hopefully your videos have more chance of going viral. So to adjust the volumes, like I said, I can't show you this, or I can't show you the sound because I don't want to get copyrighted. But what you're going to do is just go in here and adjust it. You can play around with it yourself and find the right part of where you want the volume to be and how you want it to sound, essentially. Right, okay, and then once I've done this, that is pretty much the video done. I can go put my phone over there. That is the video done. The next thing to do is just to go ahead and draft it in TikTok. Just use a few hashtags. So I just use a couple. You can go and look at my page, maybe go and look at some other bigger pages in the niche, or if you're in a different niche, go and look at some bigger pages in your niche. Just put in a few hashtags, add a description. Could be literally anything, could literally just be the words real. A lot of these videos people think are real, so that's a good thing to put, or you can relate it to the video. The final thing I will mention is you can actually add the audio in TikTok if you want. This way it minimizes the chances of your videos getting muted. For some reason, TikTok recently have been a bit weird and have been muting videos. So if you upload a video and it gets muted because of the song or something, then just literally delete that video and re-upload it, find the sound you used, and then put the volume on TikTok of that sound down to 1. I'll actually show you guys really quickly. So what you're gonna do is you're just gonna go over to TikTok, and I'm gonna mute this to make sure I don't get copyrighted. But when you're posting a video, you can just go onto a video and then just make the sound. Obviously it says it's passed the copyright check, but let's say I wanted to, I'll just add a sound. So I'll go and make sure I find the right sound. But then what you can do is you can go into volume and added sound, just literally turn that down. You don't want to turn it down to 0 because then it just basically doesn't even realize you're using it, but turn it down to pretty much nothing. And that way your audio or anything shouldn't be muted next time you upload it. Right, okay, so now I'm actually done and I can throw my phone over there. Right, before we end off this video, another quick thing I wanted to talk about and sort of run past you guys is the idea of using a page to make money through affiliate marketing and different things like this. Maybe I create my own digital product and try and sell it. This way I can show you guys all the ways that I've used in the past to make money with my pages and all the ways you can do the same. If this is something you want me to add into the series, drop a comment and let me know. I won't add this to a total of like the $500 that I'm trying to make. I want to keep that specifically with the creator fund. But if you want to see how much I can make sort of extra money on the side to really see how much money you can make with these TikTok pages when you use the full potential, not just a creativity program, then drop a comment, let me know, and I'll add it into one of the next episodes. And I'll show you guys some good products you can affiliate for. I'll show you how to maybe make a digital product and sell it. If that is something you want to see, just drop a comment, let me know, and I'll add it into one of the future episodes. If you did enjoy this video and you found some value in it, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any future episodes of this series or any of my other videos, as I post weekly videos talking about how you can grow social media accounts and make money with social media accounts. If you haven't watched the first episode, I would highly suggest you do, so you know the full sort of story of the account, how long it took me to grow it, how we got to where we got to in this episode. I'll pop it up on screen here for you guys to go and watch. And apart from that, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you guys in the next one.